In terms of predicting concrete events using astrology, there are several techniques which can be used, but there are only a few that tend to produce accurate results over and over again. So one of the ways in which to obtain these accurate results, or at least as far as what I have learned, is through working with something called mutual agenda of the planets in conjunction with factors that determine whether a planet is strong enough and productive enough to create something concrete and positive, or afflicted enough to lend itself to decay. This is not as simple a matter as looking at planetary dignity. Several different factors have to be considered. As a matter of fact, there are so many different concepts that I'm only going to cover a few in this video, but I am teaching a course on how to work with all of these concepts that is going to be 15 weeks long, and it starts on the 5th of October 2018. If you are interested in this course, registration fee is only $329 for a course that is approximately 22.5 hours long. And if you're interested in registering, you can follow the link above in this video. So some of the factors that create a constructive planet relate to things called the Baladi Avastas and the Jagradati Avastas. Now, these are factors that very few astrologers work with, but they are so exceptionally powerful, and they're listed in chapter 45 of Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. So things that can create a constructive planet are when a planet is Kumara, or youthful, or when a planet is Yuva, also known as mature. Equally, when a planet is in a condition called Jagrat, then that means the planet is awake and aware and capable of creating constructive things also. And a planet is Jagrat when it's in its own house, Mula Trikona, or exalted. And in terms of a planet creating decay or destructive things, there are a lot of different factors that have to be considered, such as a planet being Vrita, or old, or a planet being Mrita, which means dead. Equally, when a planet is in a state that's called Sushupti, which happens when a planet is in a natural enemy sign, or when a planet is debilitated, that planet lends itself to decay as well. Other factors include when a planet's conjunct the lord of a Dushtana house, meaning a lord of the 6th, the 8th, or the 12th, when a planet is combust, or when a planet is overcome in planetary war. But these are just a few of the factors that have to be taken into consideration. In addition to that, there are so many different ways that a planet can have an agenda for creating an event. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a tour of Kala to show you some of these factors. And then it's a matter of understanding how these different factors can come together in strength or weakness during a certain period using Vimshottari Dasa in order to create the production of an event or the decay of an event. So I'm going to take you into the astrological software now. Kala Vedic astrology software has a feature in it that will show pretty much every single agenda that a planet has. Now, I say pretty much every single agenda because with Rahu and Ketu, there are a couple of other things that you need to check for. We're not going to cover those in the video. today. I just want to take you on a brief tour of understanding this. There's a particular page in Kala Vedic astrology software called the Lajatati Avastas page. And if you go to that page, each chart will have a little symbol that says MUAG, which stands for mutual agenda. And so when you click on that particular thing, it brings up a table that looks like this, right? And this table has a lot of different factors in it. If you work with house cusps, it will show when a planet is the lord of a particular house cusp. That's one way that a planet can create an agenda. In addition to that, when a planet rules a cusp lord, such as in the case of the sun here rules Mars, which is the lord of the 1st, the 5th, and the 6th. So that means the sun has the agenda for all of those factors. So the sun can also create something by being the 10th Rashi Lord, which is the same as saying the 10th equal house Lord, okay? In addition to that, because the sun rules Mars, the sun has an agenda for the 1st and the 6th equal house, as well as the sun dispositing Mars, who is an indicator of father, and the sun being the Amacha Karaka, which is an indicator of friends, resources, etc. Other things that can create an agenda for a planet is when it is the Rashi Lord from a Karaka. So for instance, if we're wanting to look at something like relationships, we might see what the sun rules from the Dara Karaka. And we can see from that that the sun is the 11th lord from the Dara Karaka. The sun can also, and other planets as well, can also create agenda by ruling a Rashi lord from a Karaka. As in here, the sun rules Mars, and Mars is the 2nd and the 7th Rashi lord from Mercury. So as you can see, planets create agenda in so many different ways. We'd also want to look from Venus, right? And from Venus, we would see that the sun is the 12th Rashi Lord. In addition to that, the sun rules the 3rd and the 8th Rashi Lord from Venus, which is Mars. Okay, so there are so many different ways that planets can come together. And I didn't even cover things like Bhavat Bhavam on this. These are many of the factors that are going to be covered on the course, as well as how to accurately judge whether a planet is productive, how to accurately judge whether a planet is going to lend itself to decay, how to accurately judge if that planet lends itself to decay, when that is most likely to happen. And so you can look into a horoscope for your client or for your friends or whatever purpose that you're using astrology for and make some very accurate predictions working with Vimshottari Dasa down to just a few levels. Now, this is not a concept that can just be taught in a 1-hour video. And that's one of the reasons I'm not doing that, in addition to the fact that there'd be no reason for you to take my course if I showed you everything that was on here. So if you're interested in registering for the course, it is a pretty reasonable fee. It's $329 for a 15-week course. Each class is an hour and a half in length, and if you have to miss a class for any reason, you can catch up with the recording of that class, because each class is recorded to video and uploaded to the cloud so that you can download it at a later time. In addition to that, everybody who registers for my courses gains membership to the Astrological Forum, where they can post questions in between class. So I want to thank you for watching this brief video. If you're interested in the course, you can find a link in the video above. Thank you very much. Bye now.